Welcome, Stachers, to another episode of Stache Sports. Hope you're all having a good week to my Stachers and all the Stachers that watch this channel. Hope you're having a good week. Last night, the Pittsburgh Pirates took on the Arizona Diamondbacks in Game 2 of a 3-game series. Paul Skeens had a great night, striking out a lot of people and only giving up 2 hits and lasting 8 innings. I think he should have gotten out of the ninth. That's a big debate. I think he should have gotten out of the ninth. He had 97 pitches in the ninth inning, but they decided to go out. They decided to switch it and go Gregory Soto. At least Gregory Soto didn't mess up too bad and didn't mess up and had the Pirates. And Pirates able to hold off and win 1-0 last night, all thanks to a home run by Brandon Lau. It's a single home run, so that's why they won 1-0. But Brandon Lau had another home run today, even though it's tied right now, 101, which we're getting later in the video. But Brandon Lau had a home run last night. It's nice to see Brandon Lau have a home run and have 9 home runs when we only had like 8 home runs all of last year by our second baseman. It's nice to see a good everyday hitting second baseman finally for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's something they've been missing for quite a while, and Brandon Lau is bringing his bat from last year. Brandon Lau did have a lot of home runs last year with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, so it's nice to see him continue that this year. And it's nice to see that too, since we traded away for him and traded away a couple players, to see that trade actually come out. Because some of these Pirate trades sometimes don't pan out, and it seems like it's just the same thing every year. But it's nice to see that Brandon Lau's trade is panning out and it's looking good. The Paul Skeens had a great night last night. He had his ERA down a lot less last night, and it was great. He had to walk last night and only 2 hits. It took him until the 5th inning to finally get a hit and 2 base hits, but at least he was able to get out of that and not give up any runs, which is good. And was able to get the win, even though he lasted 8 innings. And Gregory Soto got the save. I think Gregory Soto needs to be our everyday closer now. They did have Dennis Santana as our closer, but Santana's last few games have been really rocky, and that's not something you need from a closer. If it is close, tight, 1-0 games or 2-run games or whatever it is to be a closer, you need someone like Gregory Soto, but actually is one of the better relief pitchers the Pirates have right now. It is nice to see Gregory Soto do good and do well for the Pirates. That's a breath of fresh air. I was a little nervous last night. I was a little mad late last night when the Pirates took out Paul Skeens, because I think he should have gone and should have got the complete game shutout. I know he gave up 2 hits already. I know he gave up 2 hits.
Body armor.
I know he gave up 2 hits, but he still had it for the complete game shutout, which was good. The complete game shutout was good. So it's nice to see that Paul Skeens did good for the complete game shutout and was able to hold off the rest of the Pirate players. I'm glad the Pirates did that and didn't mess up. That's something that I was a little worried about what the Pirates could have done and mess up. But luckily, Gregory Soto, like I said, didn't mess up and was able to get the last 3 outs so the Pirates could raise the Jolly Roger and at least win 1 of a 3-game series in the West against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Paul Skeens last night had 8 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 7 Ks, and 0 walks. That's nice to have 7 Ks. And it's nice to see the defense actually do good and not mess up. Sometimes when Paul Skeens is out there, sometimes the defense messes up and makes errors, but it was nice to see them do that good. They do need to get better base running. If we would have better base running, we might have at least won 2-0. Because a couple innings, so it was one inning where we definitely had it, but then they got caught in the trap because Orneal Cruz hit a grounder and Spencer Horowitz decided to run and got caught, and then everyone decided to run the third base, a double play, which was not good. That's something the Pirates need to fix. They need to have better base running and better coaches to tell them when to go. But that's something the Pirates need to fix. Hopefully they can fix that. But 1-0 last night. It is nice to see Brandon Lau have a good inning. And we'll give up 2 hits. Now Paul Skeens' ERA is going down even more, and he's 5-2 now as a starter. And the Pirates are 9-8 away. And they're 20-17 now. If they lose today, they'll be 20-18, but last time they don't. But we'll see. The Pirates are looking pretty good. It was a nice bounce back after losing 9-0 the night before to see the Pittsburgh Pirates come back and win. I'm glad to see the Pirates win and bounce back. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the Pirates. But it was nice to see them win. It was nice to see Paul Schemes do something good and have a good night. But it was nice to see Paul Schemes have a great night. After having a rocky start in the Mets and having another rocky start against the St. Louis Cardinals, it was nice to see Paul Schemes bounce back and have a great game. I wonder if he would have had a no-hitter going on if they would have kept him in. But that's just hearsay and something that you can debate on, whatever. But I mean, they should have kept him in because he did have a complete game shutout. But oh well, at least, like I said, Gregory Soto was able to get the hit. Be able to finish it. Paul Schemes now has a 2.36 ERA. That's good. And Gregory Soto had 1 K and no hits. So that's good to see Gregory Soto do good. Like I said, I think Gregory Soto's starting to look like he should be the everyday shortstop and maybe put Santana as a relief pitcher, as a setup pitcher, and switch him around. But that's something that Don Kelly can have to decide. And like I said in yesterday's video, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Jared Jones comes back from injury. Jared Jones was injured last year, and I think it might be Tommy John. But it's going to be interesting to see whose spot he takes and what they do with the pitcher. Because if they move the pitcher down and who loses their spot in the rotation in the bullpen, or does that just add an extra arm in the bullpen whenever Jared Jones comes back? It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the Pirates and see what they do when Gregory Soto comes back and to see how they are. But right now, the Pirates are looking good. It was nice to see, since he had a day off because he was doing bad against left hitters, it was nice to see Brandon Lau have another home run. And Brandon Lau had another home run today, which we're going to hear in a minute. We're going to run down the scores right now, be every game with last night. Last night, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays won 3-0 against the Blue Jays. The Los Angeles Dodgers won 12-2. That's not fair. The Boston Red Sox are coming back. They're only 16-21. They fired their whole coaching staff, and now we're starting to have a little bit of a comeback tour. And they won 4-0 yesterday against the Detroit Tigers. The New York Yankees lost 6-1 against the Texas Rangers last night. The Cubs won 7-6 against the Cincinnati Reds. The Cleveland Indians won 3-1, or Guardians, I said. The Mets on a 3-game winning streak, but they beat the Rockies. I mean, I know the Mets are looking a lot better, but the Rockies are one of the worst bad teams in baseball, too. So it's going to be interesting to see how good the Mets can do from this. But the Mets are winners of 3 straight and beat the Rockies, so that's good for them. And now they're 14-22 and 8-10 away. The Pirates beat the Diamondbacks 1-0. The Brewers beat the Cardinals 6-2. The Padres won 5-1. The Angels won 8-2. The Braves lost 3-1. Got that one wrong. The Phillies won 6-3. The Marlins lost 7-4. That's funny. The Nationals won 15-2. Wow, the Washington Nationals beat the Bricks off the Minnesota Twins. Who would have figured that? The Nationals aren't one of the better teams, but they at least had a lot of runs last night. That's nice to see. Right now, the Pirates are tied 1-1. Both have 1 hit. It's top of the second, or bottom of the second with 0 outs. Brandon Lau had a home run, and De La Cassia singled to right, and Pond scored for the D-backs, or the Diamondbacks. But I think the Pirates hold off and win. Hopefully, Mitch Keller had a great game and can pitch well. Mitch Keller's pitching today, and hopefully they can get more hits. Last night they had 7 hits, but was only able to get run. So hopefully they can get more hits. That's something they're going to need to help win. Because now that it's tied, they're going to need to help to get more hits tonight and get more people across base. They're going to need to have a lot better base running tonight and some innings if they get people on third base. But that's something they need. I mean, they need to win this one and get another series win. Worst case is they lose the series and they go off again tomorrow against the Giants. But we'll see. Lau home run to right, 400 feet. That's back-to-back games to Brandon Lau home run. That's getting a home run. That's nice to see that Brandon Lau had a home run back-to-back nights. It is great to see that Brandon Lau had a home run back-to-back nights and did good. I'm glad that Brandon Lau had back-to-back home runs, back-to-back nights. Let's hope we can keep that on. But now we had 10 home runs. So that's pretty good. Like I said, all of last year we had 8 home runs by our second baseman. So it is nice to see Brandon Lau do good and do a lot of hits. And it is showing that the management and the ownership finally got a trade right. Out of all these years of getting trades wrong, they finally got one of these trades right, and it's nice to see that they're doing good. I'm glad to see the Pirates are doing a lot better this year so far. I know it's early in the season, but it is nice to see some of these players that the Pirates are bringing back are doing good. But Mitch Cowell needs to have a better game right now. And the Pirates need to do good. They have one on base right now. That's not good. With one out. But we'll see. The Pirates have the Diamondbacks today, and it's an early game today since they're playing right now. And then they go off and play the Giants in 3 games before coming back home to Pittsburgh. But it is nice to see them doing good, and it is nice to see Don Kelly actually do good as a manager right now. I know it's early in the season, and there's still a lot of baseball left to go, but it is great to see the Pirates are doing good. I think the Pirates hold off and win today. They're finna get more hits, but it is nice to see Brandon Lau, like I said, have another home run. That's 10 home runs already for Brandon Lau early in the season. It is nice to see the Pirates are getting more home runs, more hits, and more runs across, because last year the Pirates were one of the worst teams in scoring and getting runs and getting home runs. They're one of the fewest teams in the MLB last year. So at least this year, they're trying to get all these hitters to help Paul schemes and help the Pirates. It looks like right now it's paying off, which I hope it continues to pay off. But it'd be nice to hope it continues to pay off for the Pirates. But it is nice to see that it's paying off right now for the Pirates and they can continue winning on. But hope the Pirates continue holding up. The Cleveland Indians or Guardians are winning 5-2, and I think they hold off against the Kansas City Royals. The Cubs look like they're going to win 8-1 against the Cincinnati Reds. The Mets are winning 2-0 against the Rockies. I think they hold off and win that game. I think the Pirates win, but they need to get out of this jam right now, but they're in. I think the Boston Red Sox win tonight. The Yankees won 9-2 today. I think the Phillies and the Orioles win today. I think the Cardinals win. And the Minnesota Twins lost yet again 7-5 to the Washington Nationals. Those are your baseball scores today. Last night, the Buffalo Sabres won Game 1 of the best of 4-7 series. They won Game 1 4-2 in Buffalo. The first round of the second series since 2007, the Buffalo Sabres have won the first game after being in the second round for the first time since 2007 to being in the playoffs for the first time in 2011. The Buffalo Sabres have won their first game 4-2. It was a good game to see the Buffalo Sabres win 4-2 against the Montreal Canadiens. John Doran, assisted by Zach Benson, got the first goal going for the Buffalo Sabres. And then on the power play, Ryan McLeod, assisted by Zach Benson and Josh Doan, got to make it 3-2. And then Nick Kowinski for the Montreal Canadiens, assisted by other people, got the first goal for the Montreal Canadiens. And then Greenway got the second goal, and Mathis Samuelson got the second assist. And then Bowen Robinson got a power play, assisted by Ryan McLeod. And then Kirby Darch got the second goal for Montreal. But they have a day off today before playing another game. But it is nice to see that they're winning and doing good. I mean, the Buffalo Sabres have won their game. It was good to see the Buffalo Sabres win. And my friend Brandon Kalafika is really happy that the Buffalo Sabres won since he's a Buffalo Sabres fan. But it is nice to see the Buffalo Sabres win. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the series goes. But right now, the Buffalo Sabres have a 1-0 lead after winning the first game. I mean, the Buffalo Sabres had a couple days of rest because the Montreal Canadiens came off a tough game to win a tough Game 7 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. But it is nice to see that the Buffalo Sabres won Game 1 and were able to hold off. But we'll see what happens with that. The Buffalo Sabres looking really good right now. They're number 1 seed in the East. And one top seed in the East, and they have a really turned around the season. It's going to be interesting to see if Lindy Ruff wins Coach of the Year, which I think he should, or it should be the Penguins coach, because of the way the Penguins fought everybody thought the Penguins would be a bad team. I mean, people also thought that the Buffalo Sabres would be a bad team. The Buffalo Sabres even fired their manager and coach, I think, in December and really turned around their season. I mean, it doesn't matter how you start the season, as long as you can get in the playoffs and play hot. That's all that matters. And right now, the Buffalo Sabres are one of the hot teams in the playoffs, and I think they continue that. But we'll get into that later on when they play more games. As I called last night, the Anaheim Ducks won 3-1 against the Vegas Golden Knights, and they tied that series 1 game apiece because they're a little more advanced in their series than the Buffalo Sabres are. Well, it's nice to see that 2 series tied. So that series will go to Game 5. So at least Vegas get 1 more game. But that game is tied right now 1-1. Tonight, the Philadelphia Flyers play in Philadelphia against the Carolina Hurricanes. For some reason, that series started way early, and the Carolina Hurricanes up 2-0. Excuse me. But I think the Carolina Hurricanes go up 3-0. But just hold on the Philadelphia Flyers tonight, because I think the Carolina Hurricanes are just too overmatched for the Philadelphia Flyers, in my personal opinion. I think the Philadelphia Flyers go down 3-0 tonight. I mean, I don't know. The Philadelphia Flyers did have a lead last night, but the Carolina Hurricanes came back and ended up winning in overtime and taking a 2-0 lead. I just think the Carolina Hurricanes are just one of the overmatched teams right now in this series, and I don't see the Philadelphia Flyers winning. So I think the Carolina Hurricanes win 2-0 tonight. Last night, the San Antonio Spurs smoked the Minnesota Grizzlies and Minnesota Timberwolves, and won pretty bad, tying that series at 1 game apiece. And the New York Knicks won a close one, 108-102, or something like 104 like that, to the Philadelphia 76ers, even though the Philadelphia 76ers didn't have Joel Embiid. The Sixers looked pretty decent last night and lost. Now the Knicks have a 2-0 series lead, and the Spurs and Timberwolves are tied at 1 game apiece. The Sixers lost 102-108. I mean, that was a lot closer game. Because in Game 1, when they did have Joel Embiid, the New York Knicks really took the Philadelphia 76ers to town and smashed them. But last night, they got a lot closer and only lost by a few points. I mean, it was a lot closer game than the game before. The Spurs won 133-95. That's a pretty big margin. The Spurs won pretty big and pretty handily. It's going to be interesting to see how good the Minnesota Timberwolves bounce back after getting smashed by the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio, to see how they bounce back after that. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But we'll see. I mean, the Timberwolves are pretty good. I mean, they won the last game. They won Game 1 in a close game, but then they got smashed in Game 2. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with them. The Detroit Pistons look to take a 2-0 series lead, and Cleveland looks to tie it up tonight in Detroit. I don't know. It's going to be tough. Detroit is looking a lot better after almost blowing a 3-0, almost blowing a series to the Orlando Magic. The Detroit Pistons are looking a lot better. I think the Detroit Pistons win tonight and take a 2-0. No, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers win tonight and tie that series at 1 game apiece. I think it's going to be close, but I think Cleveland comes back near the end and ties it. But we'll see. The Los Angeles Lakers played the young and hot Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending national champs of the NBA world. I finished champions of the NBA world, Oklahoma City Thunder. I think they get Game 2 win. But you never know. These refs are going to want LeBron James in it for quite a while, because LeBron James gets the money and gets the more views. So it could be a Lakers win tonight, but I think the Oklahoma City Thunder win tonight in Oklahoma. It's going to be a tough crowd for the Lakers to play against, and I think the Oklahoma City Thunder win. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I think the Thunder win. I think the Cavaliers win. And I think the Philadelphia Flyers lose tonight. Those are my playoff predictions tonight. We'll see if we're right. Last night I did pretty decent in my playoff predictions. If you want to go back and watch yesterday's video, I did pretty decent in my playoff predictions. So we'll see what happens tonight. But I think the Cleveland Cavaliers win, and I think the Oklahoma City Thunder win. According to 93.7 The Morning Show, Aaron Rodgers is expected to come into Pittsburgh this week to talk about possibly playing for the Steelers next year. I have mixed emotions. I do want to see what Bo Howard or Drew Howard can provide. But if Aaron Rodgers is the answer, I'll rock with Aaron Rodgers no matter what. Because I'm a diehard Steelers fan, I'm going to rock with whoever is behind Zach Frazier at center, playing quarterback. I mean, we do have a lot better receivers this year, in my personal opinion. Because last year we had Roman Wilson, and he didn't do anything at all. And we had Calvin Austin. And Calvin Austin's only 2 inches taller than me. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, I don't know if he can do better in New York. But the Pittsburgh Pirates can never really, I don't know if he can do good at the New York Giants, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, not the Pirates. Sorry, I have baseball in my mind still. The Pittsburgh Steelers never really seemed to utilize him well, get out of what they could. I mean, it could just be the player. Maybe he's not that good, and they did the best they could. It's going to be interesting to see what Calvin Austin III can do with the Giants. I mean, he wasn't all that good with the Steelers, but maybe Harbaugh and the Giants can get something out, but the Pittsburgh Steelers couldn't. But now we have Michael Pittman Jr. that's 6 feet tall, and we got Bernard that's 6 feet tall, and we still have DK Metcalf, and we still have Pat Fryer, and we have Mountain Washington. So if Aaron Rodgers does come back, at least has more better weapons, in my personal opinion, and better weapons. I mean, Michael Pittman's one of the good receivers for the Indianapolis Colts last year and the years prior, and I think he'll be fitting quite well here. He'll be number 11, and I think he'll fit in quite well with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we do have, I know we lost Kenneth Gainwell. We got Rico Dabo. Rico Dabo would probably do as good as Kenneth Gainwell did, and we still have Jalen Warren. I mean, we did have a decent draft, and we got more offensive linemen. That's going to be something, too. It's going to be hope our offensive linemen can build up and be stronger this year and be a lot better. So that's something that he's going to need, too. As an old quarterback, being 42 now, he's going to need a good offensive line, and I think our offensive line has improved, and I think they'll be better. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting year to see what happens with the Steelers. I mean, I'm not holding my breath that Aaron Rodgers comes back. It's just a report. You never know what happens until he puts the pen to the paper. But according to 93.7, the morning show, 93.7 is a local sports station up here for people that might be watching this and not know what 93.7 is. It's a local sports station, and the early morning show had reported that they've heard that Aaron Rodgers is coming to town on Friday and is expected to sign with the Steelers later this week. But if you all been reading the Aaron Rodgers stuff, all these reports come out, and sometimes they're never true. So you never know if it's going to be true or if it says hearsay and it's false. Or it's not false, but you never know if it's true or if we're just making it, or if we're just saying it just to say it. But Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be coming back on this Friday and signing the Steelers. I mean, I know it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I know he did play with Mike McCarthy and had all of his successful years in Green Bay, but he is older now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens since he's older now, and it's going to be interesting to see what he does since he's older now. But since he had all of his successful years in Green Bay, I mean, he was with Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy knows him, so he knows Mike McCarthy's system. So maybe Mike McCarthy can get the best out of him. And for these new receivers we have with Michael Pittman and Jeremiah Bernard that we got in the second round in the NFL draft, we see out in Pittsburgh, maybe that can help. And maybe Spencer Onwuchor can help protect him. Or Maxie Onwuchor, can help protect him. But it's going to be interesting to see if Broderick Jones can play, because Broderick Jones did have a neck injury last year and was out for a lot of the season, near the end of the season. Near the end of the season. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can come back or who they have playing there. I mean, I know Dylan Cook looks pretty good there, but it's going to be interesting to see who would play there. It's also going to be interesting to see if Aaron Rodgers does come back. Does he come to OTAs or does he skip? I mean, I don't care if he skips OTAs. I just want to know if he's going to be a Steeler this year, or if he's going to be retired, or what it's going to be. I want to know an answer soon, and I hope we get that answer this week. But like I said, sometimes these reports turn out not to be factual and turn out just to be reports, so you never know what's going to happen. But I hope Aaron Rodgers does make a decision soon. And if he does come back, I hope he's a good player this year and not show himself. But I know it's going to be harder because NFL is a hard game. And being a quarterback at 42 years old is going to be hard when you're not that mobile and you stay in the pocket. I mean, I think our offensive line would be better. I mean, our offensive line wasn't as bad last year, and they had more years to gel and get together. But we did lose Isaac Salamalu last year in free agency, so that's going to be a rough blow. It's going to be interesting to see who they get to replace Isaac Salamalu. Maybe Dunker does so. Jennings Dunker, one of the guys who got in the second round, who has the mole and looks like a freak of a dude. Maybe he's one of the next great offensive guards and offensive linemen that we need. Hopefully they are, and hopefully we can have a good offense. That's something the Steelers need. Maybe Mason McCormick. maybe Mason McCormick and Zach Frazier and the rest of them gel together and do a lot better this year because they have years of practice and they've been practicing the offseason. But football is just around the corner. We're almost here to have OTAs. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the Steelers and to see what the Steelers do. But OTAs is just around the corner. Sources say likely Steelers likely to play for Rodgers. Colts released cornerback Moore after failing to find a trade. It'll be interesting to see where cornerback Moore goes. A lot of these teams could use a good cornerback and Moore, and one of the good quarterbacks for the Colts. I guess he didn't want to play for the Colts, so it's going to be interesting to see where he goes now that it's a free agency and they couldn't find a trade for him to see where he goes. Manziel's going to get boxes, right? That's dumb. The New York Giants added DJ Reader, helping beef up their defense lineman. It's going to be interesting to see what the New York Giants do this year if they have head coach John Harbaugh. Yes, I know I'm a diehard Steelers fan and hate the Rappers and Ravens, but John Harbaugh was a really good coach for them. And I think the Giants got a good coach. Give them time, I think the Giants will be back and be in that division. But that division is kind of hearsay sometimes. I mean, I know you have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cowboys sometimes, and maybe the Redskins, but sometimes that division is wide open compared to other divisions. But we'll see. I just really hope that Aaron Rodgers comes back this week and signs soon, so all this drama and all this waiting game can be over with. I really hope that Aaron Rodgers comes back soon and signs, or at least says he's going to retire or sign somewhere else, so we at least know who the quarterback is and know what our future is going to be this year in the season. And we can stop waiting and stop guessing if Aaron Rodgers is coming back or what he's going to do. I hope he makes a decision sometime soon. But that's all I'm going to say about Aaron Rodgers. I just hope he makes a decision sometime soon. Earlier this month, or a couple months ago, they had the NFL head coaching meetings. And in that meeting, there was a scandal. And guess who was with the scandal? The Patriots, yet again. For those who don't know, the Patriots a couple years had a scandal over owner going to massage parlors to get happy endings, and massage parlors, massage like in the back parlors, and get happy endings. And they had other scandals and other cheating scandals in years past, the Flagate and other stuff. But now the newest one is head coach Mike Vrabel was seen being a little chummy and a little close and personal with Diana Rossini, who's an NFL reporter and quit her job, but Mike Vrabel was engaged or married, and so was Diana Rossini, but they were a little close. And now last night, there's a report early on, a couple years ago, when Diana Rossini was pregnant, Mike Vrabel and her rented a coach, Mike Vrabel, or however you say his name, and her rented a private boat together, like a private little raft boat or whatever, like a little rowboat together, and we're singing together in a rowboat. I mean, I don't know if there's anything going on there, but it wouldn't behoove me that the Patriots coach might be doing something, because it is the Patriots, and he never knows. The Patriots are one of these teams that have scandals going on, but I'll keep your eye on that. Like, I'll keep your eye on the whole Dylan Scoresby gambling scandal, but those are the two scandals going around right now. Why are Diana Rossini and Coach Mike Vrabel singing together in the boat together when she was pregnant? She also named her kid Mike. So does that mean something's going on fishy there? Does that mean something fishy's going on there? I mean, I don't know. I'm not here to judge people, and if it is, it's their personal business, and I don't think it should be all over the media. But now with the media these days, they're getting a lot of heat over it. Now the media these days are getting a lot of heat over it, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I don't know if Diana Rossini, Coach Mike Vrabel will have anything together over just friends. I mean, I know friends get together and do stuff together, but I don't know if they're doing anything fishy or not, but we'll see. Later on this week, we'll talk about my predictions for Backlash. Backlash is coming up soon, and we'll talk more about sports tomorrow and other stuff. But thank you for watching every episode of Stache Sports. Please leave comments down below, and I'll try to comment back if I can. But thank you for leaving comments, even hate comments or whatever. Baseball kid, but thank you for leaving comments and watching my videos. For my local viewers, and my local Stashers. Have a good week. Have a good rest of your day, and see you tomorrow on another episode of Stache Sports.